Hey guys, it's a Smile here. What if Deku had the mask redo, part 1? That's right, I think I've tried this series twice and I've stopped for some reason because I either don't like it, or that you guys didn't like it, or some other reason. But that's not important. Let's start this what if already. So just like in canon, Deku's quirkless, and because of this he's bullied his entire life by Koch and other people. And just like in canon, he gets attacked by the slash villain, but All Might saves him. Then Deku asks if he could become a hero. All Might tells him no. Deku also sees his injury in small form, but unlike the origin story, unlike the original story, All Might never dropped the villain. So the villain never attacked Kachan. So Deku didn't try to save him, and All Might didn't give him his quirk. So don't tell me in the comments he should get one for all. But as Deku starts walking home after being attacked and told he can't be a hero by All Might, he stops by a nearby bridge. He looks down. He thinks to himself, maybe Kachan's right. Maybe he should just take a swan dive. Hope he gets a quirk in his next life. Before he could, he sees a face in the water. So he starts calling for a hero. But he notices that nobody's here. That's when he says, screw it. He says, All Might doesn't know anything about me being a hero. He can still be a hero. They begins to walk down the hill next to the bridge and that leads into the river, into the water. As he starts swimming, he realizes that the face was just some ugly green wooden mask. But Deku starts getting out of the water. He thinks to himself, maybe I should keep it, and people wouldn't have to look at my ugly face. So Deku starts to walk home, and he enters his house. This is his mom reading a book, but then his mother sees him soaking wet, and asks if he's okay. But Deku tells her she's okay, and Deku goes to his room, leaving his mother worried. But as Deku gets out of the shower, he starts to cry. Then he gets an angry look. So he starts ripping up all the All Might posters off the wall. He then grabs the mask and throws it out the window. But as he turns to rip another poster, the mask comes back and hits him in the head, which makes Deku give it a weird look. Then throws it again, but then he notices the mask comes back like a frisbee, which makes Deku say, that's not normal. But as Deku takes a closer look, he sees a faint green glow go across it. Deku asks, what the hell are you? Some sort of support item? But Deku puts on a mask. It latches onto his face. Even though Deku tries with all his might, he can't get it off. But then Deku starts spinning like crazy and turns into a needle until he stops reading Deku in a blue suit with a green head. But Deku just laughs and says that there's a third reboot. And like you say, the third is always the best. But it says now it's time for some chaos. Then jumps out the window and lands like a pancake. But he puts himself up and says that there's a joke here, but he's not gonna say it. He then fixes himself, just running into the city. And he arrives. He gets a weird look from the people and asks if they've never seen that guy with a blue suit. Before Deku pulls out a binder and sees what they're planning for today. Maybe messing with Kachan, robbing some criminals, and maybe just beating some villains. Oh, wait a second. If he just stands here, maybe something convenient will happen. Then he hears screaming, so must be Kachan. Soon the mask shows up and says, look at this guy, the hair Pomeranian, the temporal Wolverine in DMV. Kachan hears this and asks, who the hell are you calling a Pomeranian and a Wolverine? We're creating small explosions. Max just says that if we had to mention explosions, the power make Michael Blay be blown away. This pisses off Kachan, so here's the explosion. But after the smoke fades, the mask is made of ash before being blown away by the wind, only leaving a pair of eyeballs. Then a cleaning lady shows up and sweeps him up before putting him into a vase. Then a mask in a suit gives it to a grieving lady that's holding a baby mask. Kachan is giving him a blank stare and asks what the hell is going on. But he then gets shushed by Deku telling him you should let them warn. And then Kachan says, screw this! So he starts trying to blow up Deku, but Deku's just doing a crap rock, making Zoidberg noises. But another Deku is eating popcorn, and Deku hears the words beautiful. As we notice Michael Bay taking a video of on his phone, McMask asks, how's he here? He's dead. Michael Bay tells him the explosion finds a way. And Kachan causes one huge explosion. I'm enough of this stupid joke. Who the hell is he? That's when his mask says that he's many things, a psycho, a god, but more importantly, a hero. He then does a Superman pose with a cape. Kachan then smiles and says he's going to enjoy beating him. But then the mask smiles and puts on some rings. And it leaves him no other option. Kachan laughs and says, what the hell is he going to do? Before Kachan can finish his sentence, he gets slapped and goes flying to a wall. That's when Deku says he was going to pimp slap him. Leaving Deku in a full pimp clothing. Deku hears a sign which makes him say, he's got to get out of here. He then runs leaving a cloud. Then he stops running. He says that he could cause a bunch of chaos. I think I should just do a time skip. This is the time skip. The man looks at his watch and says, since the thing a night ago is very limited, infamous changes to time limit, and his is almost up. So the mask gives a blanket and slowly falls into Deku's bed. Then an alarm goes off, waking up Deku without the mask. Which reminds me, when Deku is transformed, I'm either going to call him the Mask or Big Head. And when he's not wearing the mask, he's going to be Deku. But as Deku wakes up, he's slightly tired. But then he noticed that he's holding a mask and says, that was some weird dream. But he starts walking to the kitchen. There's his mom watching TV. But she sees word. When he asks what's happening, Mom told him that somebody attacked his friend, Kachan. He tears that series. That's when Deku sees a report saying that a local man with a green head terrorized the town by attacking villains and messed with people. Then shows a doctor telling the people that the man broke into a hospital and to be a doctor. But then Deku goes into the room and looks at the mask and says, what are you? But then Deku hears his mom call him. This one reveals the Prime Minister wanting to say something. According to American government, that this criminal is considered to be the first big quirk. It has been around since 1994. Then here's a report that this man is immortal. The man problem is his motive, because according to the American government, Big Head or the Mask spends years tormenting and killing people, and spends other years saving people or something just causing chaos. So we warn people Mustafa, Deku City, to be cautious, because we don't know yet if he's a hero or villain. When the broadcast then ends, as Deku sees this, he puts on his uniform and gets ready to get rid of the mask. Then he remembers how it flew back, so he decides to grab a hammer, but he can't seem to be able to destroy it. He remembers with the news said that the mask has sometimes been a hero or villain. But look at the mask. If he actually used the mask, could he become a hero? But as Deku is about to put the mask on, he stops at the last minute. He then leaves and buys a shovel, because he's about to bury the mask. But as Deku gets to the park, he starts digging a hole, and those it hole. Before he can cover it, he hears a voice. That's when he sees an angry Kachan covered in bandages. But then Kachan sees Deku and gets pissed. Kachan then starts walking with him, with his lackeys, but when Kachan gets there, he tells him that just because he got beat up by some sort of psycho doesn't mean he's weak. Deku tells him that he wasn't thinking that, they're just worried. It's kind of pissed off Kachan. So he grabs him and asks, he's looking down on him. Deku says that it's not that, but Kachan doesn't care. He tells him he's pissed and after what happened that bastard did to him. So he's going to take it out on him. That's when Kachan sees a hole behind him, tells him it's too small for his body, but it's big enough to stuff his head into. So Kachan pushes his head into a hole. When he does, Deku's body starts spinning, since Kachan flying. But as Kachan gets up, he sees that Deku's head is still in a hole, but he starts putting the head out like a piece of taffy. Then he pulls it out and spits some dirt out of his mouth. That's when Kachan sees that Deku has a green head. That's when Kachan puts two things together. That Deku's the Mask that attacked them was on the news. That's when Kachan asks, what the hell is he? How the hell is he hundreds of years old? That was such a strong power. But then the Mask puts out a book and tells Kachan that he's actually not the original. There's actually been a couple throughout history. They've been around as long as God of Loki. But his first movie took place in 1994. And Silent Inc has played him, aka Jim Carrey. Put the mask on and saved the day and got the girl. He then throws away the book and tells Kachan that he would love to deal with him, but he's on a tight schedule. But he's happy to leave him with this. He then pokes Kachan noise and gives him a wedgie, making him whine in pain, before running away. But as the girl's running, two heroes are currently searching the city. These heroes are Mirko and Hawk. Go ask, this guy is old as they say, But Hawk told but Hawk says that according to legend, he's been around for centuries. And people believe he was caught in mischief, since he won't be for quirks. But then they get a call. When they answer it, they're told that the mask is here. We cut back to Deku surrounded by cops. But as the officer points their weapons at him, the officer tells him, "Do not shoot the bullets at him. Do not hurt him." But the mask just smiles and says, "They hasn't seen this many cops since he sang for them. But he can't sing this time. Copyright an infamous ugly voice." So he has something special, and he pulls out a balloon. But as he blows it up, it stops. And tells him to hold on, he needs some more balloons. So he pulls out a pump and blows 20 balloons. But it starts spinning 10 together. The cop asks, "What the hell is he planning? He better stop." The mask tells him, then he needs to add some red paint for the button. And after he adds the red button, he then pulls out the balloons, revealing a minigun. It doesn't. That is not a Tommy gun, but it does the job. He then starts shooting. But don't worry, there's only rubber bullets in there. As he starts shooting, he knocks some girl unconscious. Then a feather comes flying out of nowhere, makes the gun pop. Then a little boy man says, "Look, it's a plane." "No, it's a bird." Then the lady mask says, "Wait a second. Never mind. It is a bird." Then Deku gets hit in the face by Miracle. Deku gets back. He sees, well, it's a hawk. The hero that people are having mixed opinions on because of manga reasons. Miracle, the hero that millions of people are drawing lewd fan at her, dies. Hawk ignores him and creates a sword and charges at him, telling Miracle that the kill orders. And then he cuts the head off the mask. He just reattaches and puts out a sword. He says, "Hello, my name is Ikino Metonio. You killed my father. Prepare to die." And then ran past Hawk. Hawk asks, "What was that?" Then the mask just smirks and says, he hasn't even noticed hasn't even noticed. At the moment, Hawk's shirt gets ripped up and there's a picture of the mask made from Hawk's ripped clothes. Sort of like Zoro's arrows. But as Hawk says, "How?" his pants then fall. Then a huge blast of fire hits him, making the mask go apart and cough up some ash. As Deborah shows up, the mask tells him that he can't defeat him. But he says "Oh my lands," and says, "Don't worry, for I am here." Mask sees us and asks, "Who are you?" We're also being covered All Might merchant holding a body pillow. But All Might then punches the mask, singing and flying into a wall. Then Hawk stabs him with feathers, where Endeavor shoots him with fire. The mask begins to get up. He hears backup is here. That's when he sees a huge group of heroes and army cops. It's making Deku scream so hard that a skeleton every organ pops out of the mask. He gets up saying, because he leaves them no choice. He's just spinning, revealing 2 maracas. Then another mask comes down and gives him a skip. He tells him that he can't sing. The man then asks if music is loud. The man responds, "Kind of." The mask then pulls out his phone and starts playing a Sonic theme. Before booking it, only leaving a cloud of dust. But the heroes start running the direction of the smoke. They realize that they already lost him. But what they don't know is right behind him the smoke disappears, revealing the mask never left. But he soon does the Scooby-Doo laugh and tiptoes away. But the kid walks home. He walks into his house, so he doesn't wake up anybody. But he tiptoes. The lights turn on. That's when they go see his best genius, Miracle, Hawk, Endeavor, and All Might. The mask looks to the side and asks if he could get a break. Endeavor then tells him he should sit down if he wants to live. The mask tells him that he has an authority to death in him. He saw 2 giant guns and points them at Endeavor. Before he can shoot him, All Might gets in between them and says that there's no reason to fight. They're here to talk. The mask then smiles and pulls the trigger, and ends up showering Endeavor with confetti. The mask then sits down and asks, what the hell do they want? What would they like to talk about? While he drinks tea, Miracle then asks that he wants him to surrender. The mask just tells her that he wasn't the first, and he won't be the last. Then the Pachina asks what he means. The man then pulls out a whiteboard and writes the history of the mask / Big Head. He then tells them about how there have been many masks, some have been superheroes, most murderers. But then we had a kid. We don't talk about those dark days. That's when Hawk asks, what is is the mask telling him that he's a hero while doing Superman pose? Bakugo gets pissed. Tells him, how dare you say hero? He attacks a bunch of people, beats up teenagers. Magic says tick tick tisk. Tells her that he attacked the cop in self-defense. That's when the people were villains and criminals. Ninja Boy is a racist psychopath that literally beats up Quickly's kids and tells him to kill himself. Dimension, it wasn't entirely his fault. I might ask what he means, but the mask can tell him. He says that he needs to check the script. As the mask looks through the script, he talks to himself. Where's the BS lie? Where's the BS lie? And Judge All Might tells him that his cricket is rare, you see. It's sentient. He says the first mask had a second personality. When he appeared when he covered his face, like a mask or something. And when he did, the personality took over. But this person is actually the deepest desire of that person. For example, first one was on the big screen was a man named Stanley Ipkiss. When he put on a mask, he actually chased after the girl of his dream, but also gained revenge on the people who wronged him. The mask also twisted the desires to make them more violent. Why a man who might just want to punch his mechanic might shove a stick up where the sun don't shine. The Miracle asks one more question. How is he immune to all the damage? And how does he have a quirk that's been around for centuries? Then he tells, that's when the man looks at the script says, man, there's a lot of BS that doesn't make sense. He then tells her that he's sentient, and when one carrier dies, the extra personality finds another soul to merge with. And the reason he's never been harmed, because when he's wearing the mask, he just says, no to damage. But your mask can still age and die. That's when All Might says that what is his original personality, truest desire. And that just gives him some tissues and presses play on the TV. It then shows a flashback of Ingo walking on Izuku, watching All Might, or crying. Thinking asks if he could become a hero like him. TV then turns off and All Might looks at a crying mask. The mask then blows his nose, which covers his face with snot. The mask then hugs All Might with tears and snot in it, and tears on his face. Asks if he could become a hero, too, because you see, he didn't know he had to put on a mask, so every time he thought he was Quickly, and he was bullied his entire life. To hear this, that's when All Might stands up and tells the other heroes that it's decided that young Midoriya will become a hero. But the other hero disagree when he tells him that he's one of the strongest people on Earth. He might actually be a god, so he could become the greatest hero one day. The mission, get lower control over powers. We wouldn't arrest the boy who lost control with the quirk. Dimension, you heard those parts crimes weren't him? Mission, gets to defeat every hero out trying, even though the other heroes don't think it's a good idea. They trust All Might, except for Endeavor, based on number, so he allowed it. Before he leaves, Ken asks the mask, he wants to meet the original personality. I said, sure, but first, the video is starting to get too long, so we're gonna end the video here. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share, and check out Infamous Discord and Instagram, so you can go beyond plus ultra.